What's your name? What's your name? I'm a Kamen Rider.
What's up, everybody? It's the Quarter Guy, and this week kind of sent shockwaves through the gaming world, and it's kind of brought up some important things that need to be said. So, as many of you probably know by now, the popular YouTuber slash streamer Desmond Amofa, also known as Etika, was found dead on Tuesday by suicide. And this caused a lot of, for lack of a better term, discussion about what's been going on in regards to mental health. You see, well, I wouldn't call myself one of Etika's... I didn't follow Etika that closely, but I have seen a lot of his reactions, and they were honestly really genuine. It was nice to see his reactions with such enthusiasm and such hype that it was hard not to ignore him. He struck me as someone who genuinely loved what he did, as someone who was proud to be a part of the gaming community. At the same time, however, I saw a lot of stories and tweets about the sort of toll that everything was taken on him as a content creator and as part of the YouTube community. I was seeing stories of him leaving, about him being, pressure getting to him, and his actions becoming more and more erratic as time passed on, and ultimately leading to, well, this. And it kind of brings up the importance of mental health. I mean, and in a world where perception is such a highly regarded thing, it's like, when you have a big audience, sometimes the desire to maintain that momentum and retain that audience can sometimes cause people to lose perspective. Sometimes it can drive people to sacrifice their own mental health just to stay relevant. And it certainly didn't help that when people saw the signs that something was wrong with Etika, some people were thinking, oh, it's just a meme, it's not really going to happen, until it actually did happen. And it was actually rather disheartening that this whole thing had to happen. And there are times when I honestly kind of feel that kind of anxiety. Well, maybe not to the extent that Etika did, but it affects not only people like him that express that had erratic changes in behavior, but a lot of people. It affects a lot of YouTubers who often find themselves anxious to stay afloat. I mean, I'm balancing my YouTube channel with a full-time career, and it can honestly be tough on a person. So, I'm probably echoing what a lot of people have already said, but not just if you're a content creator, but if you're a person in general who deals with pressure of this kind of thing, find people to talk to. People you can just talk to and relieve stress with, and people who are willing to talk with you about all sorts of stuff. And if you notice that a friend might be starting to crack under the pressure of their life, reach out to them. Talk to them if you can. At least let them know that you support them in some way, because it could really mean the world to them. In fact, I've had a couple periods of unemployment, and I don't think I'd still be sane if it weren't for the friends who were there for me. So, if you're listening to this, and if you've been my friend, thank you. I honestly owe a lot to you. Alright, that's all I gotta say about that. So, Also, rest in peace, Etika. Joy-Con boys for life. So, I got some updates. So, for those of you who've been following my Twitch and my live stream on whatever live streams I've done on YouTube, I've got a friend, Yumi-chan, who recently experienced recently had something unexpected happen to her, and now she is in a bit of a financial pinch. So, I'm running some fundraiser stuff. So, if you have Super Mario Maker 2 and would like to have me play your level, I've got a Streamlabs link down in the description below in my videos lately, including this one. So, if you donate to that, with a Mario Maker 2 level code, I will play your level either on stream or on a separate video. So, any amount will be appreciated. I'll be running this through the month of July, so if you're willing to help, send me a code and a donation, and that'll be amazing. She would really appreciate that. Thank you. Also, I am ready to order my candidates for my next list, which is Top 10 Series I Want Revived. So it's basically series that have been dormant for a while, but could use a new game for whatever reason. Be it being put back into the public eye, or they have unresolved cliffhangers, or whatever. So for my question of the week, is there a series you want to see revived? As always, leave your answers in the comments. Favorite comments will be featured in the next episode. Here are last episode's winners. And with that, time for the fourth wall mailbag. Excuse me. As always, look for the community tab and send me your questions there, and I'll answer my favorites in the next episode. First question this week comes from TFFan102, who asks, what are your thoughts on Mega Man The Wily Wars being on the Sega Genesis Mini? I am not gonna lie, that's what cemented my decision to pre-order one of those things. And it was later galvanized when I saw the entire lineup for that thing. The thing is, for those of you who don't know, Mega Man The Wily Wars is a compilation of the first 3 Mega Man games, redone for the Genesis graphics, and put on a single compilation, along with a special minigame called The Wily Wars, which included 3 new Robot Masters, as well as the ability to create a custom loadout of 8 weapons and 3 items from the first 3 games in the series. Now the thing is, in the US, it was never exactly widely available. You see, it was originally for this thing called Sega Channel, which was basically a subscription service, sort of like a precursor to video game Netflix, if you like to think of it that way. But not a lot of people had it, or even knew it existed. So really the only way most Americans could play it was through an emulator. So it's great to see that it's finally getting a proper, wide-range American release. It's great to see that happen. Oh, also the Sega Genesis Mini is going to include the Genesis port of the old shoot-'em-up Darius, as well as the Sega Tetris game that wasn't originally supposed to be released because Nintendo had a license agreement for console release of Tetris at the time. So it's kind of like the Star Fox 2 situation, how the game was canceled and then put on Super NES Mini. So that's really exciting stuff. So, I am really happy that Mega Man The Wily Wars is getting on the Genesis Mini. Next question comes from Speed of Sloth, who asks, do you think Disney should buy Sega? Hell no! The thing is Disney has been buying up a lot of companies, like Marvel, and now the agreement with 20th Century Fox. They're establishing themselves as a company that's really big in media. Even bigger than they used to be. I think they're getting too big, if you ask me. And Besides, I think there are laws against American companies buying Japanese companies or something like that, or vice versa. So, I don't think it could happen anyway, and I don't want it to because media monopolies are never really good. So, last question this week comes from Ghostflare, who asks, if you could add any character that isn't already an assist trophy in Smash Ultimate, who would it be? I've done 2 whole lists on that topic.